I found out my HOA was using my land like their personal highway, so I shut it down and the cops showed up at my door. Not because I did anything illegal, but because their president couldn't handle the fact that I finally read the fine print. And the moment I locked that gate, Maple Ridge Estates went from perfect little neighborhood to pure chaos in less than an hour. My name's Jake Turner. I'm 38. I build roads for a living, and I moved out to Cedar County because I wanted space, quiet, and a life where nobody tells me what color my mailbox has to be. My place sits right on the edge of this tidy development called Maple Ridge Estates, trimmed lawns, matching fences, those cute little lamp posts that make everything look like a brochure. And yeah, they've got an HOA, a loud one, the kind that thinks it owns the sun. I'm not in it. Never signed anything. Never attended a meeting. I pay my county taxes. I mind my business, and I stay on my land. That's the deal I thought I had. Then I decided to improve my property. I had this old gravel path that cut across my acreage, mostly ruts and mud, the kind of road that turns into a slip and slide the minute it rains. So I did what I do. I pulled permits through Cedar County, brought in my equipment, and built a proper private access road. Clean grade, good drainage, solid base, nice compacted gravel. Nothing fancy, just safe, just functional. The day I finished, I'm wiping dust off my hands. Feeling pretty good when a white SUV rolls up like it owns the world. It stops right at my new road and out steps Donna Whitaker. Picture a woman in her early 50s, sunglasses too expensive for this county hair, sprayed into submission, clipboard in hand, like it's a weapon. She didn't wave. She didn't ask. She walked straight up like I was an employee who'd messed up her latte. "Excuse me, are you responsible for this construction?" "Yep, and you are?" Donna Whitaker, president of the Maple Ridge Estates Homeowners Association. That's when the air changed. You know how some people don't just introduce themselves, they announce themselves, like the whole room is supposed to clap. That was Donna. She points down at the gravel like it offended her personally. "This is a violation." "A violation of what?" "This is my land." She flips her clipboard around like she's serving me papers on a TV show. $500. Immediate fine. Unauthorized alteration affecting community access and aesthetic harmony. Aesthetic harmony. On my dirt road. I actually laughed. I didn't mean to, it just came out. "Ma'am, I'm not in your HOA. Her smile tightened like I'd just said something rude in church. "That's irrelevant. Your property borders Maple Ridge. Your actions affect the community. That gives us authority. No, it gives you an opinion." She leaned in, lowering her voice like she was doing me a favor. "I strongly suggest you cooperate. Everyone cooperates. Then you can suggest it from off my land." For a second, I swear I saw it. The moment she realized she couldn't bully me with tone and posture. Her nostrils flared, her jaw clenched, and she snapped her clipboard shut like a judge slamming a gavel. "Fine. You'll hear from the association." And then she strutted back to her SUV like she'd won something. The next morning I did hear from the association. My mailbox, on a post I've had for years, was stuffed with letters like someone had tried to choke it. Official-looking envelopes, bold red stamps, warnings about drainage impact, environmental risk, unapproved grading, and my personal favorite, community safety hazard. It was ridiculous, but it also had that sharp edge to it. Because one letter is annoying, a stack is a campaign. Then right as I'm reading them, I hear tires on my driveway. A patrol vehicle. Deputy Ryan Brooks steps out, hand resting casually near his belt. Not aggressive, just tired, like he'd rather be anywhere else. "Morning. You Jake Turner?" "Yeah. Got a call about illegal construction." I held up my county permit like I was showing a hall pass. "Not illegal. Permitted. Inspected. I can pull the paperwork online if you want." He looked at it, nodded, and let out this long sigh. "Yeah, that's what I figured." "So why are you here?" He glanced past me toward the neighborhood entrance like he could already hear the drama echoing. "HOA president said you were blocking community access. Said there might be a confrontation." "There's no confrontation. She just doesn't like gravel." He almost smiled but didn't. "I'm going to put in my report that you're permitted. If they keep calling, it's on them." He left, and for about 10 seconds I felt relieved. Then I saw Donna's SUV again, parked near the edge of my property, not on her side, on mine, and she wasn't alone. 2 guys in matching polo shirts were walking around near my fence line, taking pictures like they were scouting a crime scene. I walked out calm but loud enough to carry. "Hey, can I help you?" She didn't even look up from her phone. "We're documenting your violation. You're trespassing." She finally looked at me slow smug. "This is an HOA matter. This is a private property matter. Leave, now." She turned to the two guys like I wasn't there. "Keep going. Get the angle by the ditch. We need evidence." Evidence, like my land was guilty. And that's when it hit me. This wasn't about a road. It wasn't even about control. This was personal. She wanted me to fold, to pay, to fall in line. I tried to ignore it for a week. I told myself, don't give her oxygen. This is just an HOA Karen playing queen. People yell, they threaten, then they get bored. But she didn't get bored. Every day another letter, another fine, another complaint. My phone rang with the county inspector asking if I'd disturbed wetlands. Then a contractor I'd hired called me confused, saying someone from the HOA told him the job was under legal dispute. She was trying to choke me out without ever stepping into a courtroom. Then my neighbor Tessa Reed showed up. She lives inside Maple Ridge. Single mom. Good person. The kind who waves and brings cookies when she actually has time to breathe. She stood on my porch holding papers, eyes glossy, hands shaking. "Jake, I'm sorry." "For what?" She held them out like they were contaminated. "They fined me 3 times this week. My grass, my car, my mailbox." She said I was supporting non-compliance. My stomach dropped. "Because you defended me." She nodded, swallowing hard. "I told them you weren't doing anything wrong. And now, I don't know what to do." That night I sat at my kitchen table staring at those letters and those fines, and for the first time since this started, my anger cracked into something else. Guilt. Because it wasn't just me anymore. They weren't only coming for my gravel road, they were punishing anyone who didn't clap when she walked into the room. And I'll be honest, my confidence started slipping. I thought maybe I should just pay the $500. Maybe I should smooth it over. I don't want this neighborhood turning into a battleground. I don't want Tessa getting crushed because she tried to be decent. Maybe I did mess something up. Maybe my road really does affect drainage. Maybe I should have talked to them first. And then I hated myself for thinking that. Because that's what bullies do. They don't just attack you, they get inside your head until you start arguing against yourself on their behalf. I was right on the edge of giving up when Hank Wallace showed up. Hank's in his late 60s, lives on the other side of my property, and he's the kind of old-timer who knows every line of land in this county like he drew it himself. He didn't knock politely. He knocked like something mattered. "You got a minute?" "Yeah, what's up?" He walked in holding a rolled-up tube like a baton, set it on my table, and unrolled it. It was an old plat map, yellowed creased official stamps from decades ago. "You've been getting harassed by Maple Ridge. You could say that." He tapped a thick line that ran straight through my property. "You know what this is? Looks like an easement." It is. 60 feet wide, and it's the only legal access Maple Ridge has to the county road. I leaned closer, suddenly cold. "Wait, what do you mean only legal access?" He traced the map with his finger. "Their back gate doesn't connect to anything legal. Their front entrance. That lane crosses your land right here. Always has. They've been using it for decades." I stared at the line like it was moving. "So, they drive over my property every day?" "Yep. And they're fining me for building my own road, while they're literally using my land as their exit." Hank's mouth twitched. "That's her. But here's the best part." He pointed to a note on the document, the kind most people never read. "This easement has conditions. The benefiting party pays maintenance. Maple Ridge is supposed to contribute." "Do they?" He laughed, one short bitter sound. "Not a dime. I know because I helped measure this land back when the first lots went in. They've been skipping that bill for 30-plus years. My pulse started pounding in my ears. All that sudden aggression, the desperation, the fines, the panic about my construction. It wasn't because my road was ugly. It was because my road meant I was paying attention. The next day I stopped trying to be nice. I bought trail cameras. Real ones. Motion-activated night vision. I posted them along the fence line, the easement corridor near the ditch her people kept photographing. If they were going to build a case, I was going to document the truth. It took less than 48 hours. First clip. 2. HOA guys walking onto my land like they own it, tossing black trash bags into the trees. No rush, no fear, like it was normal, like they'd done it 100 times. Second clip. one of them dragging a pile of loose gravel toward my fence post, then stepping back and taking pictures from a low angle, trying to make it look like my road was eroding into the HOA boundary. He actually posed for his own lie. I watched that footage 3 times, not because I didn't believe it, but because it was so shameless I needed my brain to accept it. Then I called an attorney. Allison Price showed up with a laptop, a legal pad, and the kind of calm that makes you feel protected. "Show me everything." I did. The letters, the permit, the footage, the plat map. She watched the dumping and the staging, then looked up at me. "They just made this easy." "Easy how?" She tapped the easement line on the map. "Access is not ownership. And access with conditions is not free. If they haven't paid maintenance, they're in breach, which means you have leverage. So what do we do?" She smiled, small sharp. "We give them a deadline." She drafted a letter so clean it felt like a blade. It listed the easement conditions, cited county records, and demanded payment for decades of unpaid maintenance. It also gave them 90 days to pay or negotiate before access would be restricted. We sent it certified mail. She did not like being put on a clock. 2 days later, I woke up to shouting outside my gate. I stepped out and saw it, her SUV, 3 HOA board members, a cluster of residents, and a patrol car rolling in behind them like the universe had scheduled a reunion. She was in full performance mode, arms flailing like she was about to faint from injustice. "Officer, he's threatening the community. He's extorting us." Deputy Brooks got out slow, scanning the scene, eyes already tired. "Morning. He's blocking access. This is illegal. People have to get to work, to school. This is dangerous." I walked up calm enough to look confident, even though my heart was hammering. "I'm not blocking a public road. This is my property. And here's the easement document. Here's the condition clause. And here's the certified letter my attorney sent." She lunged forward. "That's irrelevant. The HOA controls access." Allison stepped in beside me like she'd been there the whole time. "The HOA does not control access. The HOA benefits from an easement with requirements. And your association has been in breach for decades." Her face went pink. "That's not true." "Then you'll have no problem proving your maintenance payments." Silence. The crowd shifted. You can feel it when people start connecting dots.